Shalom, 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 family. I had our sister here just a few seconds ago, and I lost her. Here we go. Are you there, sis?
Yes, I'm sorry. I hit the wrong button.
That's okay. That's okay. Shalom, shalom, everyone who has joined us this afternoon, this evening. I appreciate you guys taking the time to be with us. So, shalom, shalom. We have a special guest speaker today. So, today's video, we're going to talk about stuff hits the fan, something I think that's is very important. And sister sister McMonnie shot me an email not too long ago because we were talking about making sure we have our a supply of water on hand. And she shot me an email and oh, I'm hearing an echo.
That was me. I'm
Make sure.
sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Anyhow, she shot me an email to let me know that she had actually experienced a few things. And I was like, oh my goodness, we need to talk about this. We need to bring this to the family because I think it will help. It will help. And so I invited her to come on and to speak with us. And she was good enough to say, yes, sis, I would love to come out and share with the family. So I really appreciate her doing that. And I want you guys to, show her some love. Show her some love. So the topic, what is it? Stuff hits the fan. Water. When you think you have enough, think again. All right, sis.
Think
Oh, McMonnie, you
again.
want to take it from here?
Okay. Well, first of all, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Okay. I hope all is well. Well, to what Sister Mary was saying, on February 25th, she did a live on her other channel, SFTH Easy Prep, and she was talking about the importance of water. Lo and behold, the very next day, my well went out. And I shared the well with two other houses. So I thought I had enough water stored up. I had like 40 or so gallons stored inside the house, along with a few cases of drinking water.
Oh,
I
McMonnie.
usually keep, yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to
Can you hear
to
me?
kind of throw something out there real quick if I can. Can I throw something out there real
Go
quick?
ahead.
Okay, so
Absolutely.
family, here's a question for all of you, just something for you to think about. Uh, McMonnie is telling us how much water she had on hand. So if you were to assess your supply of water right now, okay, right now, if you were to go and look at all the water that you have supplied in your house and your faucet is no longer functioning, you don't have any more running water. How
Hmm.
long on a whole do you think that water will last you? How long do you think that water will hold out? And I want you to think about all of the ways in a course of a day that you use water. How long do you think that water will last?
Exactly. Right there. Right there. In the course of a day. So, in addition to the cases of water and the 5 gallon jugs of 40 gallons worth of 5 gallon jugs I had stored up, I had about 10 1 gallon jugs in the big bathroom and 6 1 gallon jugs in the small bathroom. Okay. So that morning the water went out and I realized that my toilet, just the one toilet, took 2 gallons to flush.
Now, you
So
guys hear that,
the
right? I want you to pay attention to what she's saying. How many gallons, sis?
2 gallons of water to flush. Right.
Okay,
So
and that's just one flush,
one
one
flush,
one
and
person.
I only had 6 gallons in that one bathroom. So when I realized that, we went into conserve mode, and I know it sounds gross, but we went into the, if it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down. So we
Say
only
that again,
flushed.
sis. Say that again. Say that again, because
If
we
it's
need to get this. You know, I know you said it sounds gross, but this is real. Okay, this is real, family.
mm-hmm,
And she's telling you like it is. In the event that we don't have water, we have to take special measures to make sure
yes.
that that water will last, will do what we need it to do. So once again, give us the what did you the phrase that you use. Say it again
If
for
it's
us.
yellow, if it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down. In
And
other
that's
words,
one way
number
to
one,
conserve your water.
mm-hmm. Or unless you have too much toilet paper in there, you still have to flush it down. But remember, and it took 2 gallons for one flush. Okay. Then I wanted my hot shower. My poor husband had to have he did a baby wipe wash. I don't know if you can see that. He did a baby
Yes,
wipe wash
we can
on
see
his
it.
way to work. Okay. He went to work after wiping down with baby wipes. I wanted a hot shower. So I heated up water from my grandma's big stew pot on the stove, and I used my camping shower pump. Let me show y'all that. My camping shower pump. They don't make these anymore. Let's see if I can pull up that picture. I'm gonna share a picture of a shower pump that I, oh, it didn't, it went away. I had some
Faith,
photos
faith,
that I wanted to hmm.
faith. This is our sis. I'm sorry, McMonnie. Faith,
Okay.
faith is saying, where is this lady? This lady is our sis, McMonnie, and you're in Arizona, right?
Yes, ma'am. Southern Arizona.
He's in Arizona, faith. But this is our beloved old McMonnie, who's always in the chat, talking with us, praying with us, blessing us. This is our sis, old McMonnie. I'm sorry. Go ahead, sis.
Okay. No problem. No problem. See, I'm trying to. Can you see that? Did I share it?
No,
Did
you
I
didn't
share that
share it.
picture? Okay. So, let's see. Here we go.
Well, while you're doing that, I'm gonna speak to Pamela Montgomery. Pamela says, I have a USB powered garden sprayer that we use or can use in an emergency as a shower. And that is something
Mm-hmm.
that we appreciate you sharing that with us. Pamela, you're another one that I would love to have come in and sit as a guest and share a lot of your knowledge with the rest of the family. I think that it would be benefit to all of us. So soon we'll have to have you come on as well, okay? If you're agreeable to it. So were you able to find what you were going to put on, Old McMonnie, and share with us?
I did. There it is.
Yes.
It was like, it's like Pamela Montgomery was saying. That's a USB shower pump that I have for camping, but my camping gear is stored off property, and I didn't have a vehicle to go down there and get it.
Okay.
So
Okay. So you had to
this
make
is a
do.
USB. Yes, yes.
Okay. So where were you able to
Let me
get
see
this?
stuff.
Is this a Amazon?
Yes. Uh huh.
Okay. This is something that you can find on Amazon. Okay. So what did
Now,
you?
how do I stop sharing?
Oh, I'll stop sharing that.
Oh,
There we
okay.
go. So how much water was used for the shower?
5 gallons.
You used 5 gallons for the shower.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. So now how is your
Yeah.
water? How much water had you depleted by this time? And we're still in the same day, right?
Same day. So by the end of the day, I had depleted all my 1 gallon jugs that were in both bathrooms. And I had depleted 5 gallons. I had depleted 20 gallons of the 40 I had stored. We cooked
Oh,
and drank the bottled water that I had. So we were still good with the bottled water, but the water that I stored in. Oh yeah, let me show you. So I use this kind of plastic to store my water in the bathrooms because the other ones, I think Mary C already talked about that in the other channel, that these don't store very well for
no,
very long.
no, they don't. No, they don't. So you need something that is like the big juice
At,
containers, the
at least like
plastic
this.
on them, and that right there, right? The
Mhm.
plastic, the plastic of these containers are sturdier. They're thicker
Mhm.
than what they use
Mhm.
for like milk jugs, and
Yeah.
they won't last on the shelf for very long. And so you'll find that you end up wasting your water. Okay, so
Yeah, I
so
found that out the hard way.
you found that out. I did too. I found out the hard way as well. We had water that was uh, had leaked out onto the floor where those containers burst on us. Yeah. All right. So in the course of a day, you guys were saying. Let me go back to some of the chat. Dominic also had a suggestion. Dominique says you can add bricks in the water tank to conserve water. I don't know
Oh,
how that works. How does that work, Dominique?
yeah.
I don't know how that works. So you have to explain that one to us. So in asking you guys how you would do in the course of a day and with the amount of water that you have in the event that the water is you lose the access to running water. Terry Ann says, I have about, let me see, I have about the amount of water right now, that probably what you were saying that you had, Old McMonnie. And then she says, but I will
Mhm.
be purchasing more water. Okay, very good, very good.
Absolutely.
Susan
Absolutely.
Stittle says maybe 3 days tops. But you know what? Once you start going through the things that you would need in order to function in a course of a day, you'll find that what you have is really nearly not enough. In the course
Not
of a
enough.
day, as just to go to the bathroom, like Old McMonnie was saying, in the course of a day, 2 gallons of water to flush. And if you, which means that if you normally, and we're going to get real here, but if you normally go to the bathroom and you use a fair amount of tissue, that is something that you would have to modify if you don't
Mhm.
have as much water.
Mhm.
Was that understandable? That means you don't use as much toilet paper because that would make you have to use more water to flush it down.
Mhm.
All right. So you're going to have to
Mhm.
conserve not only the water, you're going to have to cut back on how much tissue you're actually using as well. And that's just going to the bathroom. I like what you said about if it's yellow, let it mellow or to mellow out. And if it's brown, you
Mhm.
flush it down. I like that because that just tells you that when you're having to conserve the water, you're not flushing it as often as you would if you had running water all of the time. Then her husband had to go to work. He wound up using wet wipes as opposed to water to conserve the water they had on hand. If you're going to have coffee, if you're going to have any types of food that you're prepping or preparing that requires water, you have to take that into consideration as well. If you have pets, fur babies, you have
Mhm. Mhm.
you have to take that into consideration to make sure that you have enough for them. If you have little children, you have to, take that into consideration. By the time you get finished adding up the amount of uses that you have for the water, the amount of people the water is required for, you'll find out in a course of the day you don't have nearly as much water as you think you had on hand that would be extra. It's like, what extra, right? Is that right? McMonnie?
Exactly. Exactly. There ain't no extra.
So by the end of the day, you had pretty much gone through your water, right?
Right. I had maybe 20 gallons left of the, I had 20 gallons left in the 40 gallons I had stored in the storage shed.
Now you were saying that you're still having to. Are you rationing at this point still?
Yes, because there is something wrong with the reservoir, the holding tank. It keeps draining out. It's a 3,500-gallon tank that's already been refilled twice since the well went down. And then we got a call from the neighbor who actually owns the well that the holding tank was bone dry again this morning. So yeah, we have to be very conservative with the water we use right now.
Okay, okay. You know what, family?
So
Can I
the
share something? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, sis.
so the pump pumps the water into the holding tank, the 3,500-gallon water tank that three houses share. And it's something that somehow all that water is draining out, and we've refilled it three times since the 26th.
Okay, okay. So, but you're still having to conserve your water. Now, we do have a question
Hmm.
here. Faith says, do you put the water in the tank and then flush? You don't use uh, sis, you tell them how you managed it. But my understanding of it is the water is what flushes it down, not flushing with the handle. Is that right, sis? You
Okay, so
don't
I
flush it
tried
down with
that
the
first.
handle, huh?
I tried pouring it directly into the bowl at first, and the water would not go down. It just filled up
Okay,
to the rim.
okay. So what
So
happened?
yeah. So I went on and used the handle, and it went down.
Okay, gotcha. Okay,
But
so
yeah.
oh, okay, all
So
right.
so now I pour it into the tank. I leave the lid off the tank and just pour the water into to the tank because it flushes better that way.
Oh, now that was a new one for me. Okay, so
Trial and error.
instead of putting it in the bowl, you actually took the top off the tank, poured the water in the tank, and then used the handle to flush. And that
Mhm.
worked for
Mhm.
you better than just pouring it in the bowl.
Right.
Oh,
I guess it
wow.
depends on
Okay.
the toilet.
Okay. Okay. Did you hear that, family? She said it depends on the toilet. Okay. Pamela says when it's pointed directly into the bowl, you can pour it into the hole in order for it to flush.
Okay.
Okay. And Dominique says you can use 2 5-gallon buckets, one for number one. Now, we talked about this before in one of the other videos, and another one for number two. And then you use sawdust or kitty litter to scoop it out and to manage it. Let's just put it that way. Okay. To manage
um,
things.
okay, so I go camping sometimes. We go camping kind of frequently, and I found that the pine pellets that they use in horse stalls work better than the kitty litter.
Say that again.
Pine pellets that they use for horse stalls,
Pine
they work
pellets.
better than kit. Uh-huh. I get mine at Tractor Supply. I'm sure they sell it at any feed store.
Okay.
Or mhm.
Yeah, we
Pine
have
pellets. You
Blaine's Farm and Fleet here, so we probably could get that here. Okay,
Mhm.
that's good to
You get
know.
much more. You get much more, and it costs less than kitty litter,
Okay, good,
and it
good,
works
good.
better.
Pine pellets.
Uh huh.
Yeah, Terry Ann. Shalom, shalom, family. Yeah, she says use the sorry, wrong one. She says use pine pellets. All right. Anything else that you want to share with us, sis, that helped you to make it through? And well, you're still kind of going through right now, but anything else you want to share with the family?
Yes. So now I put hand sanitizer at each sink. So, like, in the case the water goes out, instead of using water to wash hands, we use the hand sanitizer.
Okay.
And what else?
Wet wipes came
What
in
else?
handy, hand sanitizer,
Mhm.
and lots of
Mhm.
water. Lots of water.
Mhm. Going back to what you said, Mary C, about the rainwater. Now I do have lots of rainwater on hand,
Hmm.
but I did not feel like treating it.
Okay.
You have to
Family, you
treat
know
it.
what? She said she didn't feel like treating it. Let me say let me end add something to that. When it comes to surviving family, you may find out that there's a little bit of work in it. Okay, it's not for the lazy.
Mhm.
You want to survive, you got to work, family. You really and truly do. But it's no different than what our ancestors had done in the past. Okay, we have gotten to the point, and this is just speaking facts. I'm included. I'm including myself. We've gotten to the point where we're softies. We truly are softies. We're used to a lifestyle of ease. You may not think of it that way, but it truly is. Let something stop functioning the way that we expect it to function today, and we kind of lose it, right? If the washing
Mhm.
machine doesn't work like we want it to, can you imagine having to go to a tub and a scrub board and trying to wash? Okay, it's there's some work involved in it. So if you want to survive and things get kicked back, and when I say things get kicked back to the point where you don't have all of those easy convenient tools that you're used to working with, honey. If you want to survive, if you want to keep going, you're going to have to bend your back, you're going to have to use your arms, you're going to have to
Mhm.
work. That's what our family did before we got all these conveniences. They had to work. Okay.
Okay, so um just some tips. I think if I can make that work. Um in order in order to I don't know if you can see that, Mary C.
What's that?
I don't know if it showed up.
Okay.
I tried to
Here it
share.
is.
Oh, there we go.
I
Yeah.
just didn't know it was there. Sorry.
So no problem.
So what is this?
That's a chart. That's a chart for bleach to water ratio to make it drinking safe. I don't know if y'all
Okay.
can see that or not.
Okay. It's not showing up real. Let me see if I can make it bigger. It's a little bit bigger. I made it a little bit bigger, sis. So you
Okay.
guys see this. You want to tell us what we're looking at, sis? It's a
It's a
it's a
chart.
bleach
It's a chart.
water ratio
Mhm.
in order to treat water so that you can drink it. Is that correct?
Mhm. Yes,
Okay.
that's correct.
Okay. So it looks like it says if you have 1 quart or liter, the amount of bleach that you would need to add to it would be 2 drops, 6%.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know what the third column is about. It says amount
Um.
of 8.225% bleach to add. I don't know the difference. What's the difference between those two columns? The first column
The
or the
the first column is the regular bleach that we find at the grocery stores that we usually use. Oh, and make sure
okay.
that the bleach is unscented and not the gel.
Yeah, okay, so family, did you hear? You have to make sure that when you get the bleach that you're going to use in order uh to make your water drinkable, you want to make sure it's unscented. What else did you say, sis?
And not the gel type.
And not the gel type. Okay, so
Hmm.
if you have 1 quart or a liter, you're going to need a regular drugstore, grocery store bleach. You're going to need 2 drops of bleach to make that water drinkable. If you have a gallon jug of water, you would need 8 drops of regular household bleach. If you have 2 gallons of water, you would need 16 drops or 1/4 teaspoon of bleach to make it drinkable. If you have 4 gallons of water, it would be 1/3 teaspoon. If you have 8 gallons of water, it would be 2/3 teaspoon.
Hmm.
And Pamela is giving us a tip here that says you cannot use the bleach that says no splashing because that is a gel
Right.
type. You want
Yeah.
the old fashioned household bleach that we that we grew up with. Okay, not this newfangled stuff. Thank you, Pamela. So
Okay. And you can also. I'm sorry.
go ahead. I
Go
was
ahead,
just looking
Mercy.
over what was going on uh, in the chat.
Okay. You can also strain and boil your water to make it safe.
Mhm.
Um, Virginia Department of Health says you only have to boil it for 1 minute for elevations above 6,500 feet and below for 3 minutes. But that's going to take a lot of your fuel that you
Mhm.
might want to use for cooking and heating. So, there you have to
So it's a
figure out
trade
which
off.
way works best for you.
Yeah, it's a trade
Mhm.
off. So if you don't have electricity running, you don't have water running, and let's say you have a generator, then you're kind of going to be conserving both areas, water and your electricity. So you'd have to weigh out, uh, kind of measure out what needs to be done, and take it from there. Is that right?
Yeah,
So
exactly. Now,
I thought I saw something on
sorry.
here.
You can use pool shock. The stuff that people use to clean their pool water. It
Uh
makes
huh.
bleach. It makes bleach.
Okay.
Okay.
I like what
Yes.
First John 4 says. Says, what about using the rainwater for flushing rather than drinking? Because then
Yes.
um, you didn't have to really monkey around with the water then because you're not drinking it.
Right.
Yeah, but
Right.
family, there are things that we must do. So if she wanted to drink her rainwater, you would have probably first used the bleach to water ratio in order to make sure that it was
Mhm.
safe. That's why you brought that
Mhm.
up with the bleach. So we if you have a rain barrel, or a way to capture rainwater, just be careful with that. Now, family, I want to say this: we are not suggesting you guys do anything. We're just
Yeah.
telling you, sharing with you what we will do or what Old
Mhm.
McMonnie's has done. And the same thing goes for those
Yeah.
that are in the chat that are offering suggestions as well. So we don't have anybody coming to us saying that we told them that to do this or to do that. These are suggestions. These are things that either we have done ourselves or things that we would do in the future or things that we know will have worked for us. You do what you need to do.
Mhm.
Okay, you do what you need to do. Yes, you do what you have to do. And that's the truth. So Pamela says you would have to start a fire in a fire pit, and that would use your wood, but you could still boil your water. Absolutely. So you know what got me, family, was this. When I spoke with Sis Old McMonnie early on, was how much water is enough water, right? How much water is enough water? I forget. I'm looking like this because I've got a. This is the one. I had some cards, and at one time I actually knew off the top of my head how much water a person would need in a course of a day, and it's surprisingly a lot, family. It really is. I'm trying to go through my
Mhm.
card. I have something here. So, when we think that we've got enough, it really and truly, we find out that if in the course of a day you're using the washroom, you're washing your hands afterwards. If you get up like her husband had to get up and go to work, you got to brush your teeth. That takes water, right?
Mhm.
How many of you guys get up to brush your teeth? You go to the sink in the bathroom, the vanity in the bathroom, and you run water while you're putting toothpaste on your toothbrush. And the water, meantime, is just running down the sink, right? How many folks
Right.
do that?
Right.
You know, we don't even think about it. We don't even think about it. We're just running water. Water gets run, turn it on. How about when you get ready to wash dishes? You're washing the
Yes.
dishes and then you turn the water on and it just runs and it runs and it runs. I found one card for purifying water. Let me see what this one says. Okay, here it is. It says things that you need if the power goes out. One of them I have listed as water, and you need 1 gallon per person per day. That is nearly
That's
not enough. Okay,
no.
that is nearly not enough.
And you'll need more than that 1 gallon if it's really hot.
Well, you know what? I want to say that was the rule for drinking water.
Yeah.
You think that you don't really need a whole lot of water when you're drinking it. So that's why I think that they say the experts would say that you need 1 gallon per person. That's just drinking. That has nothing to do with going to the bathroom.
Mhm.
Nothing to do with sanitation or anything like that. That's just drinking water.
Just
Okay.
drinking. You still have to cook.
That's right. That's not included in there. So that's just drinking. And that's 1 gallon per person. If you've got four folks in the family, that's 4 gallons just for drinking.
Mhm.
Okay. And Emmett says that she drinks a gallon a day. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's just for drinking. So they say it's a gallon per day.
Mhm.
That's absolutely right. So
And
go ahead, hon.
that's not if it's really hot. If it's really hot and you're sweating, you're gonna be drinking more.
Absolutely. So it depends on the temperature. What's the weather like?
Mhm.
Okay, what's the weather like? And you're out there in Arizona, but it hasn't been hot, really hot out there yet, has it?
Not yet. But it's coming by the end of the month.
You know what else too? Yeah, you're right. It's coming. The other thing you have to think about too is in the course of the day when you are conserving your water, do you consider the types of foods that you're going to cook?
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
It- I'm
I
thinking anything that's got a lot of salt in it would make you
mhm.
thirstier. So it's like, okay, we're not going to have any soups today, even though soup is something that's quick. You know, soups have, especially canned soup, unless you're making unless you're like Grammy Yah here and you have made your own canned soup. If you make your own canned soup, you don't have to worry about so much of the sodium that you would have in the canned soup that you get from the stores. So Grandma says you get real thirsty when your water is limited. You do, and it depends on
Mhm.
the
Mhm.
meal you're actually cooking. What's in there? If there's a lot of sodium in it, you're going to be hungry or not hungry. You're going to be thirsty.
Thirsty.
So yes, absolutely.
Eh,
Can,
that
can I?
that
Can I?
brings. Go
Go
ahead.
ahead, Aunt.
Go ahead.
No, no, no. Go ahead.
Uh, that brought up to my mind that I have stored the electrolyte powder mix because, like you said, it gets really hot out here in Arizona, and you're sweating like crazy. And you can hurt yourself drinking too much water without replacing your electrolytes.
Okay.
And
Okay.
that sodium in that canned food will come in handy because that salt replaces that electrolyte. When you're sweating like that, you need extra salt.
Okay. All right. And our brother Jermaine says that that's another reason to practice fasting right now to be able to go without for a few days. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mhm.
You know what the Heavenly Father has been doing with me lately? I told you guys to get ready, right? I told you all to get ready because the Heavenly Father is imparting gifts. All right. He's imparting supernatural gifts. He's preparing us for the times ahead. And the times ahead, you're going to need some of these supernatural gifts that he's given out to people. Okay. And
Amen.
so one of the one of the gifts that I have received, family, I don't want you to think that I have complete Mary C is completely lost it. I have not. I can tell you
No, no.
with a surety, I have not. But one of the things that the Heavenly Father has done is for the past week now, every time I fill up my water container, and I like my water cold. I know that sometimes it's not good for us to have it that way, but I like it really cold. And so I always have ice in my water. Okay. I am also the type of person that when I drink milk, and I don't drink cow milk for the most part, I don't I've not drank cow milk, although cows are kosher. I have or clean meats. I have not. I don't drink cow milk. I haven't done that for over. I'm going to say over 10 years. Okay, so I'll either drink almond milk, and I've got the machine to make the almond milk and everything, or I just drink water or juice or stuff like that. But as far as milk is concerned, it was almond. I was only doing the almond milk. Well, I want to say about a week ago, I'm drinking my water, and when I did have milk, let me say this: when I did drink cow milk, I usually I used to water it down. So I preferred the 2%. Okay. And on top of the 2%, my husband would say you might as well just go ahead and drink water. Because
Yeah.
on top of the 2%, I would just add ice to it, right? So that was what I would drink if I did drink it. If you have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, a good glass of cold, ice cold milk was always a good thing, right? And so I was drinking my milk with ice. Okay. And um, when I do drink almond milk, I do it the same way. Oh, I forgot. I do drink buttermilk, family. I'm one of those weird people that drinks buttermilk. Yes, indeed. And I like that over ice too. So everything's chill over ice, right? So anyway, the Heavenly Father has done for me, right? I did like my milks, right? So about a week ago, it started about a week ago. I would fill up my cup with ice water, and I would drink from that cup, and it started tasting like milk, family. Okay, it started tasting like, instead of me drinking water, I'm not drinking water. I'm actually, it tastes like I'm drinking milk. It's good. It's not like the water that I was drinking beforehand. Okay, and I was, I'm every time I drink out of it, I'm like, is this gonna last forever? Is this gonna go on forever? And it is a, it's good. Okay, have you guys have you noticed anything like that going on with you? Have you noticed supernatural things going on that you know that it's the Heavenly Father? You know He's making some changes. He's doing some things. He's doing things, a new thing, if you will. My water, it's not just plain water anymore. You know, it's like Christ turning the water into wine. Well, not mine. Mine's not wine. It's a milk that's a very tasty milk. Okay, so there are
Okay.
some guys out there that you do the buttermilk as well, huh? You do the buttermilk as well. All right. Well, you know what? If you guys don't have any questions for old McMonnie, I'm not going to hold you guys out here too long. We know that there's a whole lot that's going on in the world. We're still dealing with the soldiers, the migrant crisis, if you will. We're hearing more and more folks that are talking about food shortages. And you guys already know, I mentioned it before, and I put up a community post to let you know that if you are meat eaters, you need to stock up on that beef because of the problems with the fire, the cattle ranchers and the fires. Okay. So you need to stock up as much as you possibly can on food items that you and your family are going to need. Did you have anything else, Home Make Money, that you wanted to share? Or are you just reading through the comments?
Yes, I was reading through the comments, but I did want to say to for us getting ready for that stuff hits the fan. We
Yes,
might want to learn how to recycle our used water, like water from our bathing and water from washing dishes and that kind of thing, doing laundry. Learn how to treat that and recycle it so we can use it again. That'll help. Um, that'll help us with our water situation. To preserve water, I should say.
yes, yes. You know what? When we were kids, that's the truth. When we were kids, um, we shared bath water. You know, when I come from a fairly large family, we shared bath water. So today's kids would probably say that that's gross, but that was something that we did. The two young ones got out of the tub, then the next two got in. And you just used you used the same bath water, and that was one way that they used to preserve water. I'm old school, and I think it was it Terry Ann was on here, and I wanted to highlight it, didn't get a chance to. I think it was Terry Ann that was saying that she is trying to condition herself. If I got it wrong, let me know, Terry Ann. But I think it was you that was saying you're trying to condition yourself to use toilets outside of your home because you're used to using your own toilets. I'm one like that too. I've come a long way. I'm going to tell you, I've come a long way because I'm one of those people that if I have to go to the bathroom, I'll hold it until I get home. And that's not a good thing to do. But that's something I'm known for doing. Okay, I will do that. However, I've come a long way, family, because there was a time when I used an outhouse. And now I got the nerve to be picky about toilets. And there's going to come a time where that pickiness is going to go straight out the window, because when you got to go, you got to go. And if it means that you have to go outside, you do what you have to do. All right. These are the times that we're headed into.
Yeah, and when we were completely without running water for 3 days, so we resorted to sponge bathing from the sink in order to help preserve water too,
Okay. Okay.
instead of taking that nice hot shower.
Okay. Terry Ann said I was right. Okay. And then Grandma says, instead of draining the water from your canned foods, they can be reused to cook with. Yes. So instead of draining it in the sink like we normally would do, drain it into a bowl or a cup or whatever. You can use that to boil whatever you need to boil as water. Okay. So that's a good idea, Grandma.
Yeah, Grandma, yeah, I'm trying that. Yesterday before the sun went down, I dumped some cans of veggies in my crock pot and chopped up some leftover beef, and I'll put that on the stove once the sun goes down for dinner, and see how that
Hmm.
turns out.
Okay, so Miss French Twist, you understand sharing the bath water. You understand it because you went through it. You said we shared too, and only baths on Saturday nights for church and on Sunday. Now you know what? Uh we did we took a lot of baths in my family. We shared the water, but we took a lot of baths uh in that household. 'Cause you didn't put dirty feet to a sheet at my mom's house. Period. Yeah,
If nothing else, you wash your feet.
that's right. You're working on it, Terry Ann. I have to get myself adjusted as well, so I can't say too much about you. But family, get ready for the times ahead. Get ready.
Hmm.
Hit the important spots. I'm not gonna say what it's called.
Enough with some more.
Yeah, you hit the important spots, and and that's family. That's where the wet wipes come in handy. Now,
Hmm.
I'll and also about the wet wipes. Any of you guys that are um, stocking up on things, and you stock up on wet wipes in a course of time, if you don't use them, if you're not rotating them out, and maybe some of you can relate to this. In a course of time, if you're not rotating them out and they are just stocked up and been in there for a couple of years uh, or so, they will dry out. So I'm
Hmm.
just kind of letting you guys know that if you
Hmm.
are going to go 2 years without doing anything with them, and then something happens, and then you go to your supply closet and you pull them out, and it's as dry as a dry towel,
Hmm.
it's not going to do you any good.
Hmm.
So family, please remember to take your things out and rotate them. Take it out, use it. Pardon me, and take them out and use them and replace them, because they will have a tendency to dry out. I find that if you put them in, this is just a small one that I had laying here on my desk, but if you use like these Ziploc bags,
Hmm.
and you take your wet wipe package that hasn't been opened, if you put it inside of another bag, one of these Ziploc bags, it will help them to stay moist longer. Okay.
Hmm.
Thank you.
Hmm.
I received the blessings. Thank you, family. but it will make them last longer. If you know that
Yeah.
you're not going to wrap them up to store them, then rotate them out, just like you rotate your food out. Hubby and I were
Mhm.
talking the other day. I went to the store and I got peanut butter. My husband, he's a peanut butter fanatic. Okay, loves his peanut butter, and so I picked up some additional jars of peanut butter, and he and I were talking, and I was telling him, "Oh, we've got to use." And I was telling him we have some stored. He wasn't aware of it. And he was asking me to add the peanut butter to the shopping list. So I was like, okay, I'm going to get the additional peanut butter, but I want you to know that this is going to go in the back. And then we need to use the other ones that are, and he's like, oh, I didn't know that we had those. So we need to always be aware of what we have so that you can rotate out the good stuff, or the rotate out the old stuff with the new stuff. Okay.
Mhm.
Yes, it seals in the moisture. That's exactly right. So if you're gonna keep wet wipes long term, make sure you put them in, seal them in something that will keep them from drying out. And you're right. You just add a little water, but the problem with that is, if the problem is that you're short on water, you don't want to have to use that water for something like this. This is supposed to be
Right.
your way out of having to use as much water. So now you've got to use water to dampen your towels, right? And
Mhm.
that's what we're trying to avoid. But you're right. If you just add a little water, they're fine. They are fine.
Mhm.
Your husband keeps eating up most of the stockpile peanut butter, Terry Ann says. He sounds like my hubby. He's a peanut butter man. My money full of faith. Have you tasted it? You said buy the powdered peanut butter for my stockpile. Have you tasted it? If you anybody's tasted it, let us know if it tastes like the regular peanut butter.
It's okay. It's not completely that full flavor peanut butter flavor, but it's okay. It's edible. I
Okay.
I've
You
tried it.
know what that reminds me of? You say it's okay.
Mhm.
Excuse me. It
Honey
reminds
bunny.
me of the bread. You know that you can get bread in a can,
Yes.
right? Now, my
Mhm.
mom, she doesn't like the taste of the can. Excuse me, family. She doesn't like the taste of the canned bread. Now, I can eat that canned bread. It to me, it tastes like it's got a little bit of maple syrup flavor to it. It's not like sweet, but it's got a little bit of a sweetness to it. It's not like your loaf bread that you would eat your sandwiches with. It's kind of like a in between. If you've had the canned bread, it's kind of like, it's not as grainy as cornbread, not as
Right.
grainy, but
Right.
it's not as fluffy and as
Light. Light and
light
fluffy.
as the white bread. Absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely. And you know what? I like it in a pinch. It's bread, right?
In a
It's
pit.
bread.
I'm so sorry, Emma. Her
Yes.
husband uses her water.
You know what, Emmett? In that case, maybe uh, add a little bit of extra bleach to your supply. And the reason why I say that is because if he's drinking the water that you're buying, maybe he won't be drinking the water that you store up. So store up water that you can pull from the
Mhm.
sink faucet, store it up. And in the event that you guys need your water, then all you need to do is put some bleach in it, and and then it would be drinking water. So if he's drinking that, then that would be an alternative uh, source for you.
Oh, and also, Emmett, I lived in the suburbs, and the water supply or the water source would get contaminated. They would put that extra bleach in there. You could smell it, you could taste it. It was awful. So the Brita water filter pitchers takes that bleach taste out.
Okay. So, family, we're gonna be praying about that, Emmett, that your husband gets on
Mm.
board with you. We'll be praying about that.
And you too, chosen one, indeed, with your brother-in-law.
I didn't see that. Okay, we're gonna be praying. Look, we want our families to get on board with us. We do. And it's hard when you're the only one doing it. It's hard when you're the only one
Mm-hmm.
looking to the future. I know because I've done it. I did it for years before Mr.
Mm-hmm.
C caught on. I did it for years. You guys know my story. It was like 9 years
Mm-hmm.
before Mr. C finally caught on. And boy, when he did,
Mm-hmm.
he got up and started running with it. And I'm grateful for that. But it took him a long time to get on board. So don't give up on your family. Don't give up on them.
Yeah.
You know, uh, they'll get on board sooner or later. I mean, if you go out to the grocery store, you start seeing the prices of everything is going up. Everything is going up. And before long, you're going to start hearing more and more from those family members who were either straddling the fence or were in complete denial. So some folks, are in the
Mm-hmm.
family. They acknowledge that things aren't
Mm-hmm.
what they used to be, but they're still not ready to get on board with prepping and planning. And then you got those that are in complete denial. They don't even want to go in that
Mm.
direction. They don't want to talk about it,
Right.
uh, see
Mm-hmm.
anything that's going on. Well, they will soon, real soon.
And
War is
they like to call
get
you
out here.
crazy.
Yeah, or they call you
They like
crazy,
to
right?
call us crazy.
Yeah, and when things go to the right, who are they going to look for? They're going to come straight to you because they say, "Oh, Emmett is the one that's been talking about this." They're going to come straight to you.
Mm-hmm.
It won't. It. You know what? I hate to say this. We have we have some people that it may take a scare to shake them up. Does that make sense? Okay. It may take something that's pretty traumatic for them in order for them to get in gear, right? So some of
How
these
much
folks,
more we need?
you say how much more? Well, for some folks, it may take a lot more. It may take a lot
Jeez.
more.
2020 wasn't a wake up call.
Yeah, well, you would think, but there are some folks that 2020 was yeah, that should have been, but for many people, it was a time that was a little rough for folks, but they survived it. They
Mm.
survived it.
Yeah.
So I got we have my next video. I want to talk a little bit about. So here's a question for you, family. Here's a question for you. I was talking to sis McMonnie here about it. What do you guys think of a video, a live, where you can actually tune in and participate like McMonnie is participating? I have the ability to host up to 10 people at a time. Okay. Up to 10 people at a time. And the topic would be to discuss some of the visions and dreams that the Heavenly Father has given to you about what is to occur in the future, alerts and warnings, that type of thing. Would you guys be interested in participating in a live stream where we will discuss some of the dreams that you guys, and what you'll find is many of us have had the same type of dreams. Would you be interested in it? Okay, Emmett says she would love to watch that. Okay, absolutely. Chosen one indeed says, okay. Those of you
Mhm.
that are interested, do me a favor and send me a little note saying and put on their dreams and visions, okay? So that I, as a subject, dreams and visions, so that I know that that's what you're interested in. While I'm also at it, we had a couple of sisters that were interested in us holding a prayer night or prayer time, coming on
Yeah.
and just doing some prayer. And truth be told, family, I had only two people who sounded like they were interested or who reached out to me to say
Really?
only two, that they would be interested in doing a prayer to pray over the family. And so I'm reaching out to you guys yet again and asking if you are a prayer warrior, if you feel that there is a need, and I'm truly here to tell you, family, there is a need for us to come together
Mhm.
in unity and pray over not just this family here, but our own individual families as well. And so if you have,
Amen.
you know, um, a desire to pray for others, if the Heavenly Father puts it on your heart, please send me a email, and we will try to get something like that going on a regular basis, if you will. Send me an email and put this one, the subject for this one as prayer. So if you want to do dreams and visions, send me an email with dreams and visions. And then if you want to do, if you want to join in prayer, a prayer night, we can do that too. All right. And I need someone to help me out with setting something like that up, the prayer one up. I need some help with that. So if if you're gonna volunteer to help me, that would be great. Okay. All right.
Wish I had the
So
know-how.
uh, say that again.
Wish I had the know-how.
Oh,
Oh, I
you
wish I
can
had the
help me.
know-how.
Sharper one, you may be able to help me because I don't know how to set it up. So, and to do this live stream today with Sister O McMonnie, I had to kind of do a little bit of homework. It wasn't that hard, it wasn't that bad. So I did find out, like I said, that we can do this. If I have an email, pretty much all I need to do is invite you, and you open that email up, right? Oh, McMoney, you could pretty much tell them what you did
Mhm.
to get on board. You open the email up. There's a link in there. You follow the link,
Mhm.
and then I add you to the stream, and it's simple as
Right.
that. And you just want to
Yep.
make sure that you have access to Chrome. You want to make sure that you have a speaker and all that other good stuff at home, uh, and we can all go live. And so what we'll do is, if we do the dreams and the visions one, what we'll do is if we get filled up with folks that are wanting to participate, then we'll put a time limit on how much time you can actually speak so that other folks can come in, or we'll just run that one the way it is and then do a follow up with that would include additional people. So we'll see how that works. All right.
Yeah.
So, family, I want to thank first our sister Old McMoney for coming out to talk to us about not having enough water. When you think you have enough,
Mm.
you really don't. Water,
Mhm.
it goes quickly. It's something that is a needed thing. We need water to survive. If you don't have
Yeah.
enough, you will not survive. And then there are different ways that we use the water that you don't even stop and think about sometimes. I mean, the big one
Yeah.
she mentioned to us was not just drinking water, family, but to get rid of your waste. How much water was actually used to get rid of your natural waste. and it's not something
Mhm.
we often think about. So I want to thank
Yeah.
her for coming out and sharing her experience with us, and just bless her for loving us enough to share with us. So I want
It's
to
been a
thank her.
pleasure.
I'm sorry.
It's been a
Say,
pleasure.
oh, good. You're gonna have to come back out again. And thank you all for
I
joining
just
in.
hope that this helps somebody.
It will. It will. It will. I think that I did see that somebody was saying they're going to up their water goal. Okay. So thanks, family.
Yeah.
I appreciate y'all. Thanks for coming out. Appreciate it. Appreciate everyone that was in the chat that offered up
Mhm.
ideas, views, and tips. Thank you. And thanks to the moderators. I forget to thank you guys. And I just want to say to you, you are the greatest. And I appreciate each and every one of you. Love you all, family. But know this, our Heavenly Father, you can say it with me, oh McMonnie. Our Heavenly Father, He loves you
Our Heavenly
so
Father,
much
He loves
more.
you so much more.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Shalom, family.
Bye, babies. I love you.